Ohio State and Ohio University going at it this Saturday. The Buckeyes and the Bobcats. This matchup, more juice than we expected. Maybe 2 months ago, you look at this game and you write it off for what it was. 2 weeks into the college football season, heading in to week 3. And we've got a matchup here that we didn't quite expect. Ohio bringing a lunch to the table against the Buckeyes. We'll break everything down. First things first, though, we've done this 2 weeks in a row, so don't jinx it. Keep with the theme here. Make sure you're doing the right thing and liking this video for Ohio State to beat the Bobcats on Saturday. Now, like I said, you got to pay attention. Really make sure you listen and understand who Ohio is coming into this game. I think Ohio State has played MAC teams in the past, has played Ohio in the past, and it's been a beatdown, it's been a write-off, it's been a tune-up, and I think a tune-up is still probably a pretty good word in the Buckeyes' final non-Big Ten game. But this is a different Ohio team. This 2025 version of Ohio University, their football program this year, has taken a step forward and looks a little different. First off, Coach Brian Smith, actually, this is his first full year. He took over in December. Starts with the quarterback. We're going to talk plenty about Parker Navarro today. He was actually on the watch list for the Manning Award. Buckeyes have already dealt with one Manning this year. We'll see if Navarro plays better. Also, they are the MAC champions from this past season, so they carry that momentum into this year. Now, their first 2 games, the Bobcats, Rutgers and West Virginia, so they don't start with a MAC schedule. They start with Rutgers, West Virginia, and the Buckeyes. They took Rutgers to the wire. Tie game going into the fourth quarter. Really gave their best shot in New Jersey. Couldn't get it done against Rutgers. Navarro played really well. Ohio was right there, and it was immediately noted more as a Rutgers issue. But of course, you kind of note, hey, look at the Bobcats hanging in there. Then at home, they shock West Virginia, an experienced head coach in Rich Rodriguez. They hold the Mountaineers to just 3 points in the final 3 quarters. Get it done. Navarro not good in that one. He threw 3 interceptions, but just enough to kind of shock West Virginia. And then that leads us to where we're at now. Fact is, people are noticing Ohio football. And I'm talking about Ohio University. We start with ESPN's Pat McAfee. Now, he went to West Virginia, so he was kind of watching that game, paying attention to that game. His final thoughts after that one was over. This Ohio University Bobcats team with Navarro at quarterback, they're a good team. They might make the college football playoff. They had us completely in shambles out there. College football playoff, kind of crazy. Let's go to Ryan Day, his press conference earlier this week, giving some credit to what Ohio has done so far. I thought the first week they took Rutgers all the way to the fourth quarter, played well, and then they get a win like they had last week at home was a big deal. They played really well. It's a good group and a really good challenge for our team. I think the ending of that quote is key. Let's get to the main man. Parker Navarro actually started his career at Central Florida, transferred to Ohio. He spent the last few years kind of building himself up more and more, and then this year, I believe it's his final year of eligibility. This is his time to shine. This is his time to make it happen. So far, the stats aren't there to say he's been good, but again, all those interceptions coming against West Virginia. He's fast, has a fast streak when he runs. He's going to air it out. He's going to be daring when he airs it out, and that could either benefit the Buckeyes or play in favor of Ohio. If he's not scared to throw against Jermaine Matthews, Davison Igbinosun, and Caleb Downs, more credit to him. Navarro, though, like I said, on that Manning watch list, played well last year to earn the starting job now and have that hype, and he's got the Bobcats in games. Say what you want about the stat sheet. They are in games, and he is giving them a chance. More on Navarro later, but so far as we've talked about him, does he concern you at all? Does a good quarterback that can run and is kind of giving it to other teams in college football, does that concern you? Scale it for me, 1 to 10. Now, the defense is the strength of the Ohio Bobcats, right? So I've got their defense compared to the Ohio State offense so far this season. Bobcats giving up 22 points per game, 109 rushing yards, 215 passing yards, two and a half touchdowns. Their PFF grade at 67.7. Now the Buckeye offense scoring an average of 42 points per game. They are rushing the ball at a lower rate, of course, and a lower success than passing at 175.5 yards per game, 251.5. No surprise passing the ball, averaging 6 touchdowns, which is funny because you only scored 2 in your first game. And then, of course, PFF grade for the offense, 78.4. So this is kind of the big matchup to watch. That Ohio defense has been good. They've been stifling, especially with the run, but it all falls on Parker Navarro. He has to have the game of his life. He has to run all over the Buckeyes. He has to, with no regrets, throw the ball wherever he can if he thinks it'll make a big play. I think it rise or dies. It's Navarro or bust for the Bobcats. I'll keep an eye on their defense. I think there's a lot to watch there, but the idea of Ohio even being competitive, I'm not even talking about winning the game, but not getting a 70-0 score at the end, it's going to come down to their quarterback. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. I also always let people know Prize Picks offers injury reboots. So if one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Now we've got a mock-up for you to kind of take a look at going with more and more football going on right now. Lamar Jackson, 48.5 rushing yards, going more there. Justin Fields, same with the rushing yards, going more. Travis Kelce, that is the max discount, more than half a receiving yards. I want you to really think about that one. And Bijan Robinson, rushing yards, 70.5. We're going less on that one. To get in on it, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. We always have a what to watch for in this one. I love doing this because a lot of people like to just write the game off and move on in matchups like this, but I like to dig a little deeper, give a little more to pay attention to. Say the Buckeyes win 70-0 again. Fine. You can at least say you were watching these what to watch fors in this game. It's a night game. Buckeye fans wanted it so bad for the Texas matchup. They loved it against Tennessee. Well, here it is, guys. Your nighttime matchup is here. This is what you wanted. Soak it in. It's going to be a late night for me putting out Buckeyes content, but I know everybody has a certain infatuation even with night games, watching night games, going to them, whatever for the Buckeyes. So here it is. Soak it in. Enjoy it. I do think it's a special look for the shoe at night, so I'm excited to check that out. Also, keep an eye on the south end zone, Ohio State, trying to do like a colored theme, so they'll go black, silver, red. I'm interested to see if that happens. Fans don't tend to wear what they're supposed to in these situations. You actually think back to that Tennessee game. Buckeyes got out-colored in that one. Tennessee had all that orange in Columbus. So we'll see on that one. And I always do note, this is a cool atmosphere to show recruits Ohio Stadium, the shoe, the atmosphere. Again, you need every leg up on recruiting you can get right now, and I think a night game is perfect. All right, predict it. The score of this one, I had a lot of people predict 50-plus last week. Nobody? I didn't see any 70s. So I'd love to see what you guys think predicting the score of Ohio State and Ohio. Now, this is something interesting. It's new in college football over the past couple of years, but I think it's something to watch for when you go into a matchup like this. Scouting the other team's players, lesser opponents' players, in case you feel in the future or you hear they hit the transfer portal that they'd be a good fit for Ohio State. You may say to yourself, that's not what I'm watching for. We have all the good players. So Will Kazmarek is a former Ohio Bobcat. It's a great example. If you can be out there looking, watching, and seeing another Will Kazmarek, I think that's a really good thing. Ryan Day said he was watching film of Ohio University and Iowa State when he saw Will Kazmarek. So to get a look at some players now in person in the shoe and thinking they might be a good fit for Ohio State in the future, then you see one of those guys in the transfer portal, you had your eye on them during the beatdown, great, good fit. Now, some of the higher rated players on Ohio's team, a lot of defensive guys. Pius Odjugo. He is one of their sources of stopping the run. These are all their PFF grades associated. Pretty efficient stuff. Chase Hendricks is off to a hot start at wide receiver. Parker Navarro, we talked plenty about him. Michael Molner, one of their leading tacklers, again, their difference makers on defense, and some pressure off the edge from Kaci Seegars. So keep your eye on those 5 guys. Whether it be in-game or for the future, I think you should have an eye on the other team's players. If you don't like this, if you think this is something new to college football, not something you're used to, not something you want to see, I understand. I get it. You can type Y for yes if you like the idea of scouting players, or N if it's not for you, if it's a no. Number 3, the Buckeyes are going to have their foot on the gas, whether it be at the beginning of this game or a 50-plus point lead going forward. The Buckeyes will not hesitate to score. We learned this last week. They learned it early. They learned it late. Right now, Ohio State is only concerned about doing what's best for Ohio State. And I like the high scoring. I think it's a good thing because scoring early, you can learn a lot about your starters, and scoring late shows the second team, third team units are actually getting things done, are actually getting better because you're still going. Ryan Day put it really well, I thought, in my opinion. He said, you're not just in there to run the game out. That's not why I'm putting Lincoln Keenholz in the game. Quincy Porter, Bryson Rogers, Bo Jackson. Ohio State fans got a great look at Bo Jackson last week when he got into the game. And next thing you know, people are debating, hey, should we be giving this guy starting snaps? Riley Pettijohn. I like it. I think it's a good thing for Ohio State. I think it makes the game more interesting because they're not just calling it and having their second unit do run after run after run. It's definitely an interesting personality trait of Ryan Day to lean into this, but I like it. I think it's a good thing. And end of the day, it's about the Buckeyes. It's not about disrespecting the other team. It's not about doing too much or too little. It's about getting better as a group. So my score prediction for this one, I have been way too low. I was way too high in week 1 against Texas and then way too low against Grambling. So this week I should be just right. My score prediction, 51-10. I think what Parker Navarro brings to the table is interesting, but I think it could get him in some serious trouble in Columbus on a Saturday night. I do encourage you guys to subscribe and join us. If you haven't seen our watch parties yet, come take a look. We're having a good time. We're watching the game. We're raffling off prizes. We're playing games within it. We're talking amongst fan bases, getting you ready for more Ohio State football.